Good evening. Welcome to the first LCHF Science Lecture and Cooking Demo. We hope to bring you many in the near future. My name is Shelley Dunn. I'd like to welcome you. Please, can you shut your public mouth and save all your questions till the end. We'll be happy to answer them as best we can. 60 years ago, in an attempt to figure out why heart disease was on the rise amongst Americans in the United States, the American Heart Association turned to a nutritionist, a research nutritionist named Ansel Keys, hoping that he would come up with solutions. So he set out and came up with a hypothesis called the fat-lipid hypothesis, which states that a diet high in saturated fat raises serum cholesterol in the blood, causing heart disease. What that means is fat will cause you heart disease. Butter, cheese, eggs. He didn't conduct any clinical trials. What he did was he went out and studied the eating patterns of 22 countries around the world. And what he found were that 14 of those countries did not in any way support this hypothesis. He found populations where the diet was very high in saturated fat, and in fact, the heart disease risk factors were very low. Then he found countries where the saturated fat was very low, and still there was no rise in heart disease. So what did he do? He ignored the data of those 14 countries, and he used only the data from the 7 countries that supported his hypothesis. Now remember, no clinical trials. This is important to remember for later. So he went off to the American Heart Association with this information. And what did the American Heart Association do? They broadcast live for the first time on American TV in 1953, simultaneously on the only 3 existing television stations, if you can believe it, 3 stations only, where they gave their recommendations to the American public on how to reduce heart disease, because it was becoming a problem. And what they stated was, reduce the intake of saturated fat, reduce your risk of heart disease. So Americans did what they were told. Fast forward to the 1970s, about 1975, and the American Heart Association was not too happy with the trend. And as we'll see later, heart disease actually went up. Didn't make sense. We had this theory of the fat-lipid hypothesis. Enter carbohydrates. The American Heart Association now recommended to the American public to increase their caloric intake per day 60% with calories from carbohydrates. Brown rice, white rice, bread, cereal, lots of cereal, cakes, maybe not so much cake, but the carbohydrates of those types. So Americans did what they were told, and now they're eating a diet high in carbohydrates and low in fat. Fast forward to the early 1980s, things were looking bad. It was not going the way they wanted. Heart disease was going up, and now there was obesity in ways that never showed before. Diabetes was on the rise. Things were getting really out of control. Enter the food industry, and working together in conjunction with science, they said, people, they're not listening to the recommendations. They're eating too much fat. We're going to teach them. We're going to take the fat out of their food. And now when you go to the supermarket, I remember, oh, was it a wonderful day. We were free to eat all the low-fat and no-fat food products, ice creams and cookies and cakes and breads, whatever you wanted. You were going to lose weight. You weren't going to gain any. What we didn't understand was in order to make that food taste good, because when you remove fat from food, you have to make something, put something there to make it taste delicious. They added sugar, lots and lots of sugar, which, by the way, sugar has 69 different names for it. So when you're looking at a label and you don't see the word sugar or one of the other terms that we recognize, don't be deceived, it's probably in there. So now we have people eating low fat and high fat. Fast forward 2015. Here we are on those clinical trials that they didn't hold. They did hold them. For the last 60 years, the entire world population have unwittingly been part of a clinical trial of eating a low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet. Obesity in children is out of control. Diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease are very, very high. Coming from the fitness world, nutrition and diet have always been extremely important to me, and I've been fascinated by the science of it. So when I started learning about LCHF, low carb, high healthy fat, I became very intrigued, and the science of it was compelling beyond belief. I was so excited I had to do something. So besides talking it up in my classes to all my students and bringing them samples of food on a daily basis, I decided I only had one choice: to do my own clinical study with my family. My husband, my children, and yes, some weight was lost, but more than that, the risk factors were unbelievable. Triglycerides went way down, cholesterol way down, glucose in the blood way down. Now I was just out of control. I had to tell somebody, I had to share it with people. Over the years, many people have asked me, Shelley, what do you eat? What do you eat? And I would tell them when I was doing the brown rice diet that I ate brown rice, and when I was doing the raw food, I went through the whole gamut, but this time I was ready to really tell them. So I invited 17 women over to my house, packed them all in, and did a food demonstration where I showed some videos of the science and then just simply showed them what I make and what I eat. And it was during one of these demos that Ilana Singer piped up, Rafi's doing a diet like this just at home. Well, you better believe, the next day, the very first phone call I made was to Rafi Singer. Rafi, oh my gosh, are you eating LCHF? This is big. No, this is very, very big. In my mind, we had the Beit Shemesh LCHF Wellness Center, perched on a hill, complete with every practitioner, family physicians, pediatricians, endocrinologists, heart specialists, fitness professionals, nutritionists, everyone. We were going to bring the health craze to Beit Shemesh and heal people. And Rafi's response, oh, no, I'm doing this alone. No, because I asked him to give me the name of the doctor I could refer people to. It was important that people work in conjunction with the doctor when making this kind of lifestyle change, since it goes against the traditional recommendations that are out there regarding diet. So I was deflated, but not defeated, and determined to continue. So I invited the Singers over for dinner. It wasn't just any dinner, it was an LCHF dinner, because I had to show off my skills to someone. And my family was, had had enough, and I decided to invite them over. And then they had us over. I think we were here. And back and forth, the ideas went into recipes, and it was all very, very exciting. But okay, now what? So during one of our meals, Dr. Singer asked if he could refer people to me, not to give them dietary advice, but simply show them what I do. Because when transitioning over to an LCHF diet, it can be a little bit challenging. I said, fine, if they understand that I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm an LCHF practitioner, I'm happy to help. Shortly after, my phone rings. Hello, Shelley Dunn. Are you Shelley Dunn, my Pilates teacher? Are you an LCHF cook? Dr. Singer told me to call you. I said, well, in fact, that's who I am. Who's this? It's Ellie from Pilates. Ellie Wittenberg, who you'll be hearing from in a little while. She will share her amazing story of LCHF and how her family is coping with a serious illness with the help of Dr. Singer's recommendations of diet. So here we are this evening, and I'd like to think that we are trailblazers. Ellie, Dr. Singer, and myself, we're kindred spirits in a way. We both share this deep desire to share what we know with people that we care about, and to the greater Beit Shemesh community, all of Israel, who knows. In fact, we're collaborating now on an LCHF family cookbook reference book, which hopefully the next few months you'll see in your local bookshelves. And trailblazing. Trailblazing, it's something important. It needs to be done by people. And I think that Dr. Singer is a phenomenal trailblazer. He really stands alone in this. That those of us who know Dr. Singer and have had the privilege of taking our children to him over the years, we know what a caring, concerned physician he is. But he's also willing to look outside the box when trying to diagnose his patients and not just give out pills haphazardly. So Dr. Singer is a trailblazer because he is going out on a limb a little bit and using nutrition, LCHF nutrition, to help people lose weight and possibly be part of a protocol of improving someone's health. This evening, we'll be hearing from Ellie and Dr. Singer, and now we're going to hear about the amazing, compelling science of LCHF.